Is this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want?
Welcome back, everyone,
with
to
Matt and
another
Julia?
fantabulous, fantrabulous, contrapulous, mapulous, stopulous, doing this Mattulous episode of Is This What You Want? I am Matt O'Brien. Of course, across me is my co-host. Every damn episode, every damn day of my life, the co-host of my life.
Wow.
The co-host of my bed. The co-host of my heart.
Wow.
Julia Lackowitz.
Hi, it's
across
me,
from
Julia Wow,
You fucked up your own name.
Julia Ladkowitz. I recently had to fill out so many like forms for this intake form for like therapy shit because I'm getting my brain fixed.
Yeah.
And I had to like type my name so many times and like initial, and every time I type my name, I typed it wrong. It's a bunch of letters that shouldn't be together, and it's hard.
It's funny because you keep talking about how if you change your name, you might be more successful.
Yes.
I don't think that's the case.
I do think everybody who's popping off right now, or just in general, has like, it's all their names are da 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 da, two syllables. Nikki Glaser, like.
Or sometimes it's den.
Yeah, or den or da da da. It's not da 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 da.
Matt O'Brien. Mine's fucked up too. Last name's 3 syllables.
O'Brien. You can count that as one.
Lackowitz. 3.
O'Brien. Matt O'Brien. Julia Lackowitz.
Julia Lackowitz.
Julia.
It is the name that your tongue flips around in your mouth for a bit, and then
Julia
you're
Lackowitz.
like, it's like when you say your last name, the tongue is doing that. What are the Olympic pummel horse? It like pummels off
Yeah.
it. It goes Lackowitz and then lands, and you're like, wow, stuck the landing.
I mean, it's exciting and scary and weird. And whenever someone like is like, wait, so I spell it out for them, and they're like, wait, how do you say that? I'm like, Ladkowitz, and they're like, oh, that's easy. I'm like, yeah, it just looks like a nightmare.
Yeah, I think it's going to make you very famous very soon because it's so original and exciting. It's exciting to see that name. It's memorable too because people, when hosts of comedy shows see that name, they're like, whoa, how do I say this one?
I don't know.
And then they got to go out of their way to be like, oh, who's this person?
Listen, there's got to be a reason I'm not famous yet, and I blame my last name and only my last name, no other factors.
You are a type of famous. We are both a type of a very minimal,
Very
famous.
niche.
Small little.
We're famous to maybe 3 people.
There's like 3 or 4 people, and I think they might all listen to this podcast. So much appreciate.
Yeah, and they're like, wait, they think we think they're famous?
Yeah.
No, sir.
But good for them because, like, imagine getting on the ground floor of a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing. Brad Pitt had a first fan, and we're not talking about his mother because that's everyone's first fan. But there was a person that was like, you are quite something.
yeah,
and I'm going to follow you around.
And I don't think that they are, millionaires now because of it. They're just like,
You mean the fan?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but I wonder if, all these big celebrities, Michelle Pfeiffer, whatnot, if they're like, I had that one fan that was
Speaking of Michelle Pfeiffer, do you remember at that bar? First of all, we never go to bars or nightclubs. This was like 2 months ago. We were out for a friend's birthday, and then we went dancing. And the guy checked my ID, and I had just gotten like my new ID picture, and it was my first time using it, and I looked nice in my ID photo. And he's like, ooh, he's like a young Michelle Pfeiffer. And I'm like, oh, sir.
Nice. Sir, please.
It was the best compliment I've ever received. I hope I look okay today. I'm wearing contact lenses.
You are wearing contact lenses.
Yeah, I'm getting my hair done after this. And every time I go, I wear my glasses, and I have to take them off for like the 3-hour procedure. It's like I'm getting my fucking eyelids removed, my procedure. And I can't see, and it sucks. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wear contacts.
Yeah, you look great. And you have to wear these for the whole day. That's the thing.
No, I'll bring my glasses with
Okay.
me. And then I'll just, because these are dailies, so I'll just pop them out, chuck them on the
Where
sidewalk.
do you go to a bathroom to pop contact lenses out? Or you just do it in public and you throw them into the wind?
I mean, you could, but I generally like to wash my hands before,
Yeah.
so I will go to a lavatory of sorts.
I'd say it's probably the same rules around blowing your nose. Nose blowing should never be done in public.
I mean, I understand sometimes, like, if you're walking down the street and you're like, okay, either my fucking snot falls all over
Yeah.
or it goes into this little tissue.
Face
Sure.
away, like face towards a wall, put your face in a bush, do something. People that are openly blow their noses like on sidewalks and while you're like passing and you're like, wow, a mist of...
Or like a reusable hanky and they blow their nose and then they just like tuck it into their
my
shirt or something.
God.
You're like,
You're
"Ugh."
describing my pup, rest in peace.
Oh, my pop-up did that too. But
Yeah.
also, but I get that. That was like, my granddad was also a very clean, meticulous man.
It's funny that old men used hankies, which is like environmentally
Of
very
course.
friendly. But for everything else, they were like, I'm going to pour gasoline in the garden and light the ants on fire. They're like, well,
I think that
don't,
was just your pup.
I don't know if he actually did that.
My
but it sounds
granddad
like something he would
was
do.
so he would be called like an environmentalist today or a minimalist, a very low carbon footprint.
Yeah.
He would always say, "Waste not, want not. A penny
yeah.
earned is a penny saved." He was very and not even cheap. It's like he could afford these things, but he's like, I don't need more than this, so why don't I just conserve? And he like had his own garden and like lived off the land.
For some reason, waste not, want not really stuck with me. I remember you told me he would say that. And I think about that at times when I'm like, oh, this toothpaste is done. I'm going to throw it out. And then in my brain, I'll hear your grandpa go, waste not, want not. I'm like,
And then you get an
and then
extra
he
2-3
posts-
days out of that toothpaste.
I know. It was like sage advice that was never said directly to me, but affected me for my whole life.
There you go.
My pop-up was a tool guy. He would
Mm-hmm.
buy too many tools. And it is evident because my parents currently live at the farm that he used to live on. And there's just tool sheds full of everything. Like, and tools that you would never use. It's like, well, what if I want to build my own railroad? And I want to spike it in myself. And
Didn't you say that he was a bit of a hoarder and he was a firefighter, and then there was like a school that burnt down and there was all these like tables and chairs, those desks with the things attached, and he's
There's-
like, hey, you using these? And they're like, no.
there's a barn on the property, and it's just full of junk. And it's full of old school desks. And yeah, it was because of a school. And he was like, can I have these? And they were like, yeah, if you want. And then he just threw them in the barn. And there's like a bunch of like old ice cream freezers in there too. I think he like
This
helped
barn
it.
is terrifying.
It's crazy. It's a real hodgepodge of junk. So much that they had like an antique appraiser come out, and they were like, there's got to be some stuff here. And they're like, this is just the most junk.
It's all junk.
It's all junk. That's what you do when you live on a farm. You're just like, I don't know, get some fucking junk, dude.
Although we did find that cool tapestry about like wine.
Yeah, there's some gems out there
Yeah.
for sure.
Anyway, speaking of wine, happy Chappy Hour, everybody.
Happy Chappy Hour, the only happy hour in North America that I'm aware of, dedicated to the worst robot movie of all time, Chappie, which Julia has not seen.
I have not seen, but you know what? And maybe I missed my opportunity because I was on a plane recently and I didn't even check to see if there was a movie because it was such a short flight, and it was one of those things where I'd have to like watch it through the app on my phone. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to do that, but I could
Still,
have missed out on Chappie.
There should be a punishment where you have to watch 5 minutes of Chappie because you did not check on a plane. That's the rule.
Okay, I'll watch a YouTube clip of Chappie before next week's
At
episode.
least watch the trailer. Ooh, watch the trailer.
I think I have seen it.
I'm sure you've seen the trailer because the trailer is actually quite exciting. You're just like, huh, a robot, and Hugh Jackman.
I will.
How exciting!
I will say that I was in Reno, bragging. I was in Reno this weekend, which we'll get to in a bit. But I was trying to pump myself up for one of the shows, and I'm in my hotel room, and I put
Playing
on
the
some like
Chappie theme song. Chappie, oh the Chappie, yo Chappie.
I am Chappie, I am Chap, I am Chappie.
If he just ripped off the
I am
Indiana
Chap,
Jones
Chap, Chap,
theme
Chap,
song,
Chappie, that'd be amazing. No, I put on some like 2010 like fucking pop pump up playlist.
Jock
and-
Jams.
No, I did not put on jock jams, but then that "Cause I'm Happy" song came on, and I remember when that song came out, I would always sing, "Cause I'm Chappie, I'm a silly robot, and I like to sing and dance. Cause I'm Chappie," and I'd always sing that, and you'd go, "No!"
I hate it.
I know it's bad, so
You
that
also
came
had
on,
a-
and I giggled to
A
myself.
theme song for a Japanese cheesecake place in Toronto called Uncle Tetsu's.
Uncle Tetsu
Tetsu
Japanese
Japanese
cheesecake.
cheesecake.
Uncle Tetsu makes a cake for you. I don't know why.
I don't know why it
We had
bothers
Uncle
me so
Tetsu
much.
once, and
It was fine. It was extra fluffy cheesecake.
it's very fluffy. You have to be. Some people like Japanese cheesecake. Some people don't.
What if there was a Japanese cheesecake place and it was Chappie making cheesecake?
Oh my god, a Japanese cheesecake factory.
I mean, there's a business model for you.
Sure.
If anyone wants to take that and make a Japanese robot inspired cheesecake place, Japanese.
I
cheesecake.
guarantee you that's somewhere in Japan.
I know, we got to go to Japan. Imagine you go to Japan. This is how crazy Japan, I think, is. Imagine you go to Japan and there's a restaurant themed after you. It's
Oh my God.
It's like the Julia Ladkowitz bistro. And it's all just pictures of you. All the staff are dressed like you.
Huh.
And all the food is based on your life.
The Ladkowitz lair.
Yeah, an Ottawa club. And that's what it's based on where you were born. A canal cocktail, also based on Ottawa.
Ooh, I'd go for a canal cocktail. It's just
If
what would
I-
a canal cocktail be? Maybe like
Ice.
like ice, but like maybe with like beaver tail flavor. So like some cinnamon in there, maybe hot chocolatey. Maybe like a chocolate cinnamon brandy situation.
That's not bad. I kind of like this idea of a Julia Ladkowitz bistro, and it's like it's a restaurant based on me. Like even if you had it here, people would be like, "Who does that? Who is this person?"
The sign, Julia Ladkowitz Bistro, would upset people so much. Everybody would be like, "What is this? I am not going."
Yeah.
Also, the sign alone would bankrupt me. It's too long.
Here's the thing. I think this idea is very good. I'm getting more and more into it the more we talk about it. It would go viral. People would be like, "Who the fuck does she think she is?" Imagine the food's amazing. They're like, "Well, it is amazing. All the stuff is very good, even though they all look like this tiny celebrity that it's only a few people know."
What if I called it the Chapkowitz Bistro and it's a Julia Ladkowitz and Chappie mashup?
Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Oh, Chappie with a blonde wig on and glasses.
Chappie serves you, chap.
Hey, my pussy hurts. That's one of
There
your
was
bits.
one of my, I don't know why, an impression of me from long ago was, "Oh, my pussy, it hurts." That was like everybody's impression of me, Julia Ladkowitz. Anyway, what are we chapping,
That's a
Matt?
high compliment to get an impression of you doing
It
stand-up.
is a
though.
high compliment.
It is the morning time. It is, what is it? It's 11:27 a.m. Pacific time.
It's already 11:27.
Yeah,
Fuck.
we're making this a short one because we have to get on with our day. But we are chapping a kombucha, a health aid kombucha, which you can get at Costco. I think it's a 6-pack for $12.99. I want to say, is that right?
I don't know. Not my favorite kombucha, to be honest.
It's fine.
It's fine. There's too much sugar in it. If I'm chapping a kombucha, I want it to feel like healthy.
I don't run a mile for a kombucha. I'll tell you that much.
You don't?
It's
You
fine.
used to love it.
I don't. I enjoy the apparent health benefits to it. I like that there's little probiotics in there ready to tackle my gut problems.
At this point, though, so much kombucha, I think it's more just like a kombucha soda. It's been like everything that's good for you in it is maybe not anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
But on that note, because I didn't realize it was 11:30. Oh gosh, should we go into our first segment?
I think we should. What is our first segment?
Well, let's start our first segment with. Well, that was stupid.
Well,
that was stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a segment where we talk about something friggin' stupid that happened.
Yeah,
This
and
week.
I think it's been a pretty stupid week as well.
It's been a very stupid week, and I will start. Listen, I was in Reno.
I'm listening.
And don't get me wrong, I was very happy to be at the Laugh Factory. I was very happy for the work.
Booked and blessed.
Booked and blessed, and working with lovely people, April Macy and Maddie Chimber.
That was Chimbor.
It's Chimber. It's like timber.
That's fun.
I know. I was always saying Maddie Chambour, and he's like, it's
Yeah.
Chimber.
I don't know why it could be a Canadian thing.
I don't know. Anyway, listen, Reno, it's Reno, and it was the weather everywhere last week, as we know, was a fucking mess.
You managed to skirt
mess.
around it in a weird way, travel-wise.
Yeah.
Because even driving to the airport, I'm like, the biggest winter storm to hit California is about to come in.
Yeah.
And then you went over it and landed in Reno.
Yeah.
And then I was here, and it was a fucking nightmare.
And it was a nightmare in Reno. Like, the snow was like coming down sideways. All the freeways shut down. I think the airport shut down one day. So a lot of people who were at the casino or trying to come in to Reno either couldn't get in or couldn't get out. So a lot of people at the shows were like,
Forced to be
either
there.
couldn't get there because they couldn't get there, or they were like trapped at the casino. So they're like, I guess I'll see a show.
Ugh.
So the shows were fine, and it was just like, I don't know.
There's something extra sad about a casino gig, especially because if you're like, just going to a casino, It's like going to Vegas. It's like I don't have to stay here for like a week or a full whatever. I have the option to leave, but it's like when you're working casino, like when we would work like Niagara Falls, you're like, God, you just see the saddest people, and it's just weird, depressing, and sterile, and you never see the sun.
We landed on Thursday morning, and I didn't go outside again until Sunday, until the sun came out a bit, and I went to the river walk, which was actually quite nice. But yeah, it was extra stupid just because some of the people in Reno were just miserable, like mean little people. Like the amount of like dudes who just approached me and like, even with my strong fuck off, don't talk to me vibes.
Yes.
Who would start talking to me and whatever, and I would like shut it down like really quickly, but in like a nice way, shut it down. And then it was always immediately met with like, okay, I'm just trying to be nice, or oh, I'm like, I just want to be left alone. And I wasn't even saying that at the beginning. I was like, oh, thank you so much. Yeah, okay, just got that kind of stuff. Or I'm like walking through the casino and these men are behind me on this like escalator, and they're just like commenting about my body, be like, oh yeah, that girl in an all black, which I was wearing an all black jumpsuit and the white boots. She's a stripper for tonight. She's gonna be stripping for us. And I'm just like holding my drink and I'm looking forward in the light purse, and they're just describing it. I'm like
they knew you could hear it.
Yes, they were literally right behind me, and I'm standing there, and then I almost turned around because I had a few drinks at this point. I almost turned around and I just chucked my drink in their face, and I almost said something, but I'm on my way to the show. I'm like, what if these fuckers are at the Laugh Factory? I'm still technically like working right now. I'm still technically on the clock. It was just really shitty. And then the next day I wake up to like a comment on one of my videos that this guy was like, she's shaped like a box. Said my body. I'm like, am I a box? And then I'm looking at the video, I'm like, I'm not a box, but I'm like, am I a box? And I'm just so sick of people commenting on my body. Like,
also the profile picture, it's always the man that is just soaking wet and looks like an actual toenail. Like his face looks like a toenail and he's soaking wet and he sucks.
It was just like, that was like one of my last interactions of the night. And then my first thing that I see in the morning, again, didn't want to see it, but it was just like one of these like comments that just popped up in the notifications. And I was like, you, I like, my body is not for your consumption.
Yeah,
I am not a box. I'm not a stripper. It's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I just was really fucking annoyed by it. And then my last day of Reno, by the way, I didn't lose too. I think I broke even, considering how much I gambled. That's good.
Well, just Reno, like, who goes to Reno? Why are you going to Reno and not Vegas? What is the big draw to go to Reno? It's closer to where you live?
Yeah, and the hotels are cheaper. Like,
that's bad, because Vegas is already pretty cheap if you do it right.
I mean,
a certain way.
I get it. But the last day, I was like, okay, I'm just going to put like, I had like a weird interaction on stage with these like cops, and then I came outside in between sets and I put a 20 into the video poker machine. I'm like, I'm just going to play a quick round of video poker. And I press deal, and then a fucking cockroach just scuttles across the bar. And I'm like, all right, cash out. We're done here.
Ew. Was it big?
It was little.
Doesn't need to be.
It was a cute little baby cockroach.
Little
and then I put him in my pocket.
The little ones are the scariest because you're like, oh, that means there's other little ones around here.
Which means your mama's just like, in the wall, just
shooting them
gambling, out. Pulling. Whoa.
Oh, if there's a little cockroach casino in the wall of the casino, they're like, and that one cockroach, he was like, I need a drink. I've lost everything.
I've lost some. See, one ticket to the comedy show, please.
And there's a little Laugh Factory, cockroach Laugh Factory, and a little you with a wig on. I don't know why this podcast is just, there's just a little you and there's you restaurants. Yeah. I'm obsessed with you.
Oh my God, my husband is obsessed with me.
He's obsessed with me.
Anyway, it was all very stupid, but a cockroach casino would be quite cute.
Yeah.
If I was doing like PR for cockroaches, when they're like, look, we got a real bad rap. How do we turn this around? I'd be like, listen, casino.
Make a casino for the cockroaches. That's the thing. We've been exterminating cockroaches all these years. Let's learn to live with them. Let's make a little town for them.
They're probably nice people.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing with cockroaches. What are they actually doing?
Other than being disgusting.
They're just disgusting. And then
do they bite?
I don't think they bite.
Do they shit?
Well, I mean, everything shits. But it's not like human-sized shits all over. That would be crazy. If a cockroach shit the size of a person, you're like, God damn, there's a huge log in the kitchen. But I was thinking of that because but when you see a cockroach, you're like, now things are bad.
Yeah.
But they don't bite you. That you like, as far as I know, I mean, maybe they spread disease.
I think they can just multiply really quickly and they're hard to get rid of. So it's like, you just have a bunch of these little creepy crawlers scuttling all over your body if you don't get it under control.
Next time I see a cockroach, I'm going to ask to talk to the leader and try to organize some sort of coup d'etat. Is that right phrasing?
I have no idea, but we should just build them like a
d'etat.
little house and then be like, you stay in that house, I'll stay in mine.
Well, I got the little cockroach houses because we saw one a couple months ago, and I was like, well, that's enough for me. And I have the little cockroach hotels that, they go in and they have a nice meal, but then they get stuck and die.
Come out.
Yeah. It's like Hotel California.
Yeah.
You can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Matt, what's your... Well, that was stupid.
God, I've had a weird little week as well. I mean, being away from you is always very dumb because I miss you dearly. And because being in Chicago, I'm like away from you, and then you're gone, and then I'm like, oh great, time to myself. And then without you, I certain parts of my life are completely lost. Like, my vegetable consumption goes down. Yeah. I'm like a little boy on his own. I think I'm an adult, but then you leave, and I'm like, God, I haven't had a salad. I'm trying.
Yeah.
But then I went to Costco by myself, and you're like, here's a list of things. And I just get so overwhelmed. I need you as an anchor to reel me in because I'm just like, I see an aisle that's like so busy. I'm like, I can't do that. I gotta go. And then I'll just grab random things. And then by the end of it, I'm like, fuck. I was at the cash, and I was like, out loud, I went, fuck.
You fucked up?
Well, I fucked up. I didn't get the right things. I didn't get lunch before. I was like, maybe I'll get a hot dog. I'm like, I can't. You can't eat.
You can't go to Costco hungry because it's absurd.
But also, you can't eat after.
No, you have to. So that's what someone. I saw a tweet. They're like
Barbara Gray.
Yeah, Barbara Gray said you eat at Costco before you go in, and you eat at IKEA after you go in. Yeah. Those are the rules.
Which could be a California thing because in Canada the food courts are indoors, whereas down here you pass the food court on the way into Costco because it's outdoor situation.
But also, like if you have a bunch of groceries and perishables, what are you gonna do? Just like let them sit there while you scarf down your hot dog?
Dripping wet, full turkeys in my cart while I'm eating a hot dog.
Yeah, you got 12 fresh turkeys and then nothing else on the list.
I was going to get a full pizza because I've heard that the full pizza orders at Costco are much better than the slices, and but it's a real ballet because you got to either call ahead. People are like, call ahead days in advance to get a fucking Costco pizza.
You just have to like plan. Like I'm gonna want a pizza in 48 hours.
I mean, yeah, that's my life.
I mean, I want a pizza in 48
right
hours.
Now. Yeah, if I knew that pizza was good. It's like in school. Did you have pizza days in school? Yes. Yeah, it's the Friday, and it was like
it's like raise money for charity, and a slice was like $1 or something.
I remember them being like $2 or $2.50, and it was like I was like, this is crazily overpriced.
Really?
I was the pepperoni kid. Did you have a pepperoni kid?
What do you mean?
There was people that hated the pepperonis because it was too spicy. Very Caucasian school I went to.
They said it was too spicy?
Yeah. And then so people would get their slices, and then I'd be like the godfather of pepperonis. They'd put a
they'd
stack
give you all the pepperonis?
of pepperonis, and I'd be sitting there. I'd be like, thank you. You're my friend. You're my friend. Give me a cured meat. Give me enough cured meat, pepperoni.
I feel like I didn't like the pepperonis. Here's the thing. I did this thing when I was a kid sometimes because I fucking loved everything. I loved the salty meats. I was really into like all kinds of food and shitty food too, and like McDonald's and all that. But then you hit a certain age where girls are like, that's actually gross. And I'm like, you're right. That is gross. Or like certain meats just gross me out. Like for the longest time, I didn't eat like chicken wings or ribs because I convinced myself that I'm like, meat on a bone grosses me out, which it did a little bit at the time. But I was like,
it's too, you're like, it's a limb.
But now I'm like, but it's still, but now I feel like I'm going back to that a bit more. But then I was like, I fucking love chicken wings.
Yeah.
And I like McDonald's. And for so long, I was like, no, I would get like veggie subs at Subway. I'm like, I just like it. I'm like, no, I like the fucking chicken teriyaki. That's what I like. That's what I like.
Teriyaki's what I like. It's what I like.
Anyway, is that are you stupid and done?
Are you stupid and done? No, yeah, I guess. Well, my main stupid thing was that I've been working out a lot lately. No big deal. Getting totally ripped.
Swole.
Getting ripped, getting yoked, getting swole to the gods. And I injured my fucking talking about chicken wings. I injured my fucking chicken wing.
Yeah, that like piece right back
Yeah.
there. You're like, what is that actually called? I always call it your chicken wing. You're like
Is it
rotator
solar plex
cuff,
or something, or it's a
like when
fucking,
your shoulder blade.
Yeah, and it's like something that pops up every now and then. But I just hate working out. Is so stupid because it's like all the medical people are like, you got to exercise. Exercise is great for you, but you do it too much, and then parts of your body are like, no, not like that. Stop it. And it's like, I'm just trying to be healthy, man. I'm just trying to.
And you try to work out to
feel
prevent
good.
injuries down the road, but then if
Yeah.
you work out too hard, you got to take it. It's
I know it's stupid in
it's
a
all
way.
very stupid. But you know what's not stupid is our next segment, Warm and Fuzzy.
Hold on time.
Yeah.
What? Who's leading the Fuzz Train?
I mean, I guess I will.
Also,
why not?
Fuzz Train is for sure like, you know, those fuzzies, those weird like sex people
Yeah.
that dress up like animals. They for sure have a train party that's called the Fuzz Train.
Ew, where they just all fuck each other in like human centipede style.
Yeah. Who's that comic last night that?
was Mo Welsh.
She was talking about how her brother's a fuzzy, but he's on a wait list for
A furry.
A furry. That's what it's called.
He's
But
on a wait list for this like costume that can only be made by some expert in Japan or something.
They're elaborate. These
They're like
costumes.
$5,000.
They're huge and like. Have you ever seen one in real life? It's
No.
alarming. It's like what? It's like seeing a cartoon.
You've seen a furry in real
I
life?
think I was in a hotel once or a casino or something.
It was
and
like a
there
furry
was
convention?
A furry convention. And I just saw one. I was like, oh my God. It's like, and the mouth moves and the eyes were like blinking. But that,
Oh.
at no point was I like, I want to have sex with that thing.
I thought it was still your regular face and all that and just like a Halloween costume.
No, I think some will wear like ears and just a tail and be like,
And some will be like, I'm an actual fucking bear.
I'm a wolf. I'm a cartoon wolf and I'm down to fuck. Oh, God. People
I'm
are
glad
fucked.
I'm not into that just because the cost alone and
It would probably smell weird too. You're like sweating, like you're horny and sweating in your little furry
But
costume.
what part of your brain is like, I want to, but they're, I'm just so primal like an animal and I fuck like an animal.
But not like an animal, like a cartoon animal. I guess we'll
Yeah.
never understand.
I guess it'd be scarier if it's like, I'm really into fucking that like lifelike grizzly bear.
Yeah. You're at the zoo and you're like, can I have sex with that real life grizzly bear? No, you may not. I love you.
I love
Okay,
Okay, this is my warm and fuzzy. Okay, so Reno wasn't all bad.
Yeah.
First of all, talking about vegetables, I ate so many vegetables in Reno. I'm
Yeah, you
very
ate way
proud of
better than
myself with my healthy food choices. That's the thing. I ate well and then I drank a bunch. And then I would have some bad food at night sometimes. However, I had like salads in Reno. I had an egg white omelet in Reno. I'm like, who am I?
Jeez.
But my overall warm and fuzzy, it's like, yeah, like I got closer with April and Maddie, and it was like, thank God I'm here with like nice people because that would have been like super shitty. But I wanted to say the staff, all of the staff at the Laugh Factory Reno, and honestly throughout the casino, were the loveliest people. The people in the casino, bad.
Yeah.
The staff, great. Like this manager, Julie, was just so nice. And at one point I'm going to the bathroom and I'm like, just going to take a hot piss or something. And then she's like, you're so funny. I'm like, oh, thank you. She's like, just like your whole demeanor, your everything. She's like, you're just fun and nice to be around. I'm like,
Isn't that cute?
it was just really nice. And another thing, there was this bartender, Candy, who was like,
That's the most Reno bartender name.
Candy, she looked like an 80s character, like from a movie, like so tan, so thin. I want to say she was like late 60s, 70. You saw the picture of
Yeah.
her. Just like, and just so nice and just in such good spirits, even though she's like, yeah, I'm working. I picked up a shift on Sunday because, you know, it's been so slow and I need to make that money. And then I got a picture with her because I'm like, I love you, Candy. She was being so sweet to me. And then she's like, my husband of 25 years just left. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, if Candy
Jesus.
can be in this great spirits. And she was like that with everybody in the bar and just like having the best time. I loved Candy. Then there was this other bartender when I was playing video poker, which I can't remember his name, but it was something like Ulysses or like
Sparkle, Randy,
it was something.
Ulysses.
Honestly, it was such a crazy. I'm like, that's your name, and he was the best. And then when I was playing video poker, there was this man next to me who, like, for once didn't get creepy vibes from, and we were just chatting, and he's like, "Oh, you're the comedians." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, he's like, "Oh, I work here at the casino." I'm like, "Oh, what do you Shanch?" Sorry, our dog is eating something. Come
No,
here.
She's just sniffing in the corner.
Okay.
She's just being an idiot. Sometimes she'll just lick a part of the floor, and you're like,
I know,
you're
but
that
she
bored,
was
huh?
really into the corner, so I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure she wasn't eating
Get
something.
in your bed.
Anyway, yeah, this man,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, I work at the casino. I'm like, oh, what do you do? He's like, I'm a server. I'm like, oh, where do you work? He's like, Roxy. And Roxy was this like steakhouse there that I wanted to go to because we get like little meal credits,
Yeah.
but you can only use them at certain restaurants. And I was like, oh, I don't think we can use it at Roxy. So I was like, wait, can I use my meal credits at your restaurant? He's like, yeah, come in tomorrow. I'll hook you up. I'm like,
Hell yeah.
okay. So me and Maddie Chimber went, and we had this like the most like romantic meal at this steakhouse. And we got like French onion soup. I got like filet mignon, this like sundae, and he brought us all this wine. And yeah, we had like $45 worth of meal credits, but he comped all our wine, and we just had this beautiful dinner that cost us like literally $6.
Dynamite.
And then we each tipped him 20, and like it's just he was like, anytime you're back, his name was Tate at the Silver Legacy Casino and Resort in Reno. You're a good man.
You think they called him Tato in high school?
Maybe
Potates.
But he was so lovely and just nice, and he had a very like familiar vibe about him. So it's just like, goddamn, the staff at the Reno Silver Legacy Casino and Resort, I salute you.
Or if he was bullied in high school, they called him Taint.
They for
That
sure
could
called
be.
him Taint.
Yeah. I went to school with an AJ, and people called him Anal Juice.
Kids are creative. I'll give them that.
Anal Juice is hilarious. Hey, Anal Juice.
Oh, I remember there was a girl named Virginia, and I called her Vagina all the time because I thought the word vagina was hilarious. And I'm
It's
like,
still
your
very
name
funny.
is Virginia? That's too close to vagina. And
Yeah.
she's like, all right, that's enough. I'm like,
It's too close. Get out of my sight. You vagina-named idiot.
listen, Matt, what's yours? Warm and fuzzy.
Okay, well, here's what I want to end on, too, because
Good.
did you do your big goals homework from last episode? Because that's kind of what's making me feel nice.
Okay. No, sort of, but not really. You go first.
Well, yeah, because last episode we were like, listen, how are we going to turn our careers around? We got to set big goals because people are always like, what's your main goal? Like when you meet with like a manager or somebody in the industry, they're like, what's your goal? What's your big, marquee goal? And I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I want to be a lead on a television series.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, what am I doing to make that happen? I am auditioning, but what am I doing more that I could do more? And like, I've always wanted to take improv classes. I think I'm very good at improv, but I want to know more about the fundamentals and get better at it. So I finally, once again, signed up for improv classes,
Yes.
which start in 2 weeks. The first time I did it was March 2020, and then
Yeah.
the world ended.
I bought you improv classes for your birthday, and then
So that if anything happens, it's definitely my fault. But it starts in 2 weeks, and I'm like, it made me feel good because I'm like, yes, I'm doing it. It is a bit of money because that's what turned me off. I'm like, I don't want to spend that amount of money and whatever in class, blah, blah, blah. But it makes me feel good because I'm like, just seeing in the calendar, I'm like, each week I have a class, I have something that I'm working on,
Yep.
and it's going to help get me closer to my big goal. And I am nervous and excited. And are you going to come to my final?
Of course. I
Show-
mean, if I'm around.
Because at the end of it, so you do all these classes for, I think it's like 6 weeks. And then the final class
You do an
is
actual show.
a show.
And this is UCB that he's doing, not
Yeah.
Groundlings, which
No.
I did.
So, but the show's like at 11 a.m. on a Saturday or something.
It's the best.
But I
It's
went
fun.
to yours and I'm like, that was legit very good.
I mean, because
but-
I was in the class, baby.
I know. I just have such a hard time working with people. So that's why I kind of want to I like improving by myself.
I know. I think
Or-
this will be good for you to sort
Yeah.
of like, you're very good at you're like, when it's a stupid situation, I just see you go and just power down. You're like, I can't even for a second pretend that I like this. And
I don't want to waste my time in certain
I
situations
know, but-
instead of finding a creative way to deal with it.
But just when you realize everything's stupid, not to take things so seriously, because you are that way. But then at the same time, you're like, well, this isn't the kind of stupid that I like. This is when it's almost like too sentimental or something, or too,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Then you get all like, huh. I think this will be good for you to break down some barriers.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's mine, and that's what up with
So
me.
that's your goal. Oh, that's a great goal. I love that
Yeah.
goal. Listen, to be honest, didn't fully think about it, but I feel like I do have a similar goal, because my thing is like, what do I want ultimately? What would make me happy? And being on set and working in that capacity would make me happy. So I'm like, big goal is like, yeah, I want to be like on a show. I want to be a recurring role on a show, and I want to do more shows. Like, I want to tour more, but like, not Reno so much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
my big goal is to not go back to Reno.
Yeah, and
doable.
And I do feel like I am kind of working towards that. So, I was talking to a friend from that's the thing, the people you'll meet in improv. Like, I met a guy in my Groundlings class, and he had told me he's like, here's a list of like some managers that I messaged and blah, blah, blah. And I'm talking to him about helping me, because every time I like reach out to managers, I'm so like, I don't know how to like properly sell myself. So I'm always like, hello, my name is Julia Ladquist. I'm a comedian. And they're probably like, this is boring as hell. And he's like, no, you have to lead with like, hi, coming off of my recent Just for Laughs taping. And then I did that. And he's like, rapid fire 3 things that you just did. Kind of like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So my big goal starting next week is I'm just going to fucking, I'm always like, it's not the right time. I'm going to fucking email dozens of managers, like booking agents, like theatrical agents, managers. I don't care. That is my first thing. Email
booking at warnerbrothers.com.
Well, no.
Just email everything.
Because I keep being like, I don't have a manager. I'm like, okay, when's the last time I actually emailed one of them? And I just have to be like, who cares? If they say no, they say no. And that's...
Move on.
Yeah.
Plenty of fish in the...
But I have to do it because I'm always like, oh, I messaged 3. I'm like, yeah, but that was 3 and how long ago?
Yeah.
So fuck that. I just have to put my feelings aside and do that. And I finished my writing class, which is great. And so now I'm working on my shopping agreement. So I'm like really
feeling it.
I feel it, but I'm also overwhelmed and scared.
Yep.
But I just have to realize that one day at a time, and you got this, Julia, and everything's going to be fine.
We got this.
We got this.
We got this.
We
and
got
you
this.
got
You
this.
got this.
A
And
full episode coming out on time with video elements, which I will edit appropriately.
Yes. Something tells me that the video element will be
What do you think
the
it'll be?
Cockroach Hotel or something.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So cute.
I was thinking about the Japanese restaurant that's themed like you. I could green screen that.
Oh,
really
I like
nice.
that too.
We'll see. Check our Instagram. Is this what you want podcast? And it'll be posted there, as well as our
Where can they find you,
profiles.
Matt?
Matt O'Brien on Instagram.
And I'm Matt. Oh,
and I'm Matt O'Brien on Instagram
Julia
too.
Comedy on Instagram, Julia Comedian on Facebook. We love you so much, and say bye, Shanj.
Bye, Shanj. Have a good day.